There are no vegan rapists in the prisons of the world. You go find me a vegan rapist. I'd love to hear about a story. I'll show you prisons around the world full of meat, dairy, and egg-eating rapists and child molesters and murderers and people that rob and steal. In fact, I'll even take it a step further when we talk about health. Go find me a hospital with a bunch of sick vegans in it. I'll show you hospitals full of people with heart disease, cancers, diabetes, osteoporosis, kidney problems, etc., all stemming from animal protein, the main cause of every major disease on this planet.
Welcome to the Cannabis Vegan. I'm Jason Logic. On today's show, we're going to be looking at Only Organic, a company that promotes organic but basically promotes organic death, as well as looking at Old Mcdonold dies of GMO, as well as a short cannabis cartoon. This and more from the Cannabis Vegan.
You have clothes on, and I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.
It's the cannabis, it's the cannabis, it's the cannabis, and you can't handle us. Cannabis energy drinks, coolest ways anyway. www.cannabisenergydrink.com. Go get your cannabis drink.
Alright, everybody. This first one comes to us from the youtube.com here. Only Organic. First off, we're going to be boycotting them. I'm going to be breaking it down, and there's a lot of reasons why. Matter of fact, before we even check out anything on here, and before we go to the site, their actual website, and again, in regards of boycotting, I'm bringing an issue to forefront, as well as trying to help solve, and also constructive criticism as well, because we really need to make this only vegan organic. Why don't we go ahead and roll the footage? Here we go.
Old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some cows, E-I-E-I-O. With a hormone here and a hormone there, hormone, everywhere, a hormone. Old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he sprayed some crops, E-I-E-I-O. There's some GMOs here and a pesticide there. Here spray, there spray, everywhere spray, spray. A small cage here and a tight cage there. Here a moan, there a moan, everywhere spray, spray. Old McDonald had a New MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm the animals roamed. E-I-E-I-O. With a pasture here and some open space there. Here they roam, there they roam, never any hormones. New MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And that farm was chemical free, with no GMOs. With healthy soil here and organic crops there. Toxic pesticides can say goodbye. No more toxins in our lives. New MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
All right, everybody. That was absolutely amazing to see that rendition and pushing forward. But there is going to be some objections, like I was explaining before, that I don't agree with everything here. Kids, great job. You're doing well, but nonetheless, you're being told what to do. And so we're going to have to set this straight. First off, hopping on over to onlyorganic.org. I encourage you guys not to, though, okay? This is just for this demonstration. The biggest portion that I obviously have the disagreement with is that I am glad that they are organic. I'm glad for their intentions overall. Only organic is a very catchy type of phrase. But when you simply go on over to who we are and you really start to begin, I'm not going to read through this real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and scroll immediately down, okay? When you see things like this right here, okay, I don't care whatever their names are. It could be Mary and Jan, it could be Terry and Gary's, it could be anything. But when it says organic eggs, these aren't your eggs. So, okay, that's knock number one. Here's another one. Having a cow on here because they're part of other products of cheese and dairy and things like that. So I don't support any of this, what they do. Same with the Annie's homegrown. A lot of their stuff is cheese-based, dairy-based, and meat-based. I have not seen very much anything vegan from them at all. Although I believe Earthbound would probably be just a growing company that grows veggies. I don't know exactly what they have their hands in exactly, but as far as I know, the other companies, oh yes, especially like Nature's Path, they have all kinds of things. They use honey. They use, I mean, I'm not going to go into it all, but that's the main purpose to what I'm talking about. So here for criticism and also construction of being able to how to move forward for you guys, Mr. and Mrs. OnlyOrganics.org. I'm going to have to tell you right now that if it was only vegan organics or vegan organic, only vegan organic, that would be absolutely amazing, okay? But to know that you're not, and you're going to continue to rape and pillage and be a part of the Holocaust of the animals and of this world, no. Going to have to say all thumbs are down. So your site has been boycotted. I have now warned you guys. Very good applause to the children in the new McDonald. But until it's vegan McDonald, I'm going to have to say it's a no-go. For more on this, please visit The Cannabis Vegan.
A message from the false advertising industry.
We've successfully used the word natural to sell billions of dollars of product that nobody would otherwise eat. Foods that have been fertilized in sewage, food products that have been processed beyond all recognition. And by adding the word natural to genetically modified organisms, we're doing God's work. Literally. I mean, we are claiming all these life forms that he or she never had the foresight to create. And we're making sure that people think of them as natural. And it feels good. It feels good. Can I just, give me 1 second? I promised myself I wasn't going to do this. All right, can we just cut for a second? Are we cut? We're cut. Good. You think they bought it?
There was once a land called NorCal, amongst the cannabis trees, where the folk that smoked their flowers lived a happy life in peace. But an ancient law dictated that all cannabis is bad, so the G-men confiscated every flower that they had. Then the people got together and proclaimed, "It is our will that this flower still be legal for the dying and the ill." On the Hill, Mr. Obama, who presides over the land, heard the voices of the people and replied to their demands. Under my administration, you may use your medication as long as you always follow every local regulation. And so it was with this promise that the flower once more bloomed, and the sick people would use it, unaware of looming doom. 'Twas the Hog, U.S. Attorney, who corrupted with her power would set out to bring destruction to every last cannabis flower. She pretended she was only deeply invested in the law, but she cut from every garden every flower that she saw. It's not working fast enough, muttered the Hog in frustration. We mustn't stop until we reach absolute eradication. Get the dispensary owners and try to get their suppliers. If they say you have no reason, make one up and call them liars. Bring the operators before me from every corner of town. I will come up with a reason to, one by one, shut them down. So they brought the vapor room and the divinity tree from the heart of San Francisco where the movement came to be. Many people really need us, both the operators pled. Their objections didn't matter. She just said, off with their head. The head of Oaksterdam College, a man ahead of his time, had once made a proposition that cannabis not be a crime. All his work was not rewarded, and he was punished instead, when the Hog in fuming fury simply yelled, off with his head! And now the Hog is facing her largest and loudest dissenter. They have brought into her courtroom the Harborside Health Center. In 6 years, 100,000 patients walked through their doors. Harborside was also featured in the TV show Weed Wars. Even government officials say to close it would be a pity. After all, the businesses pay lots of taxes to the city. When the Hog was asked the question why she's after Harborside, she just grinned and cleared her throat and said this when she replied. There is no reason to close them from everything I've read, but they're too large to be trusted. So I say, off with their head! Everyone gasped in surprise. She had dropped her pretenses, and when they saw her intentions, the people came to their senses. We cannot stand this abuse, yelled a voice in the crowd. This is America, land of the free, and this nonsense not allowed. When will President Obama finally take a position? He could end this if he wants to by executive decision. Their voice grew up in volume and became a roaring trill that reached the ears of Obama up in the Capitol Hill. I pledge to offer protection to everyone who is in need, and you know that I'm no stranger to the magic of this weed. Hog, you're abusing your power. I heard everything you said. I hereby end your appointment and make you smoke a spliff instead. And so arrives the conclusion of our political spiel. But this fable's not a fantasy, it's a nightmare, 'cause it's real. What would President Obama really do in such a scene? Will he stand up for the people? Well, that's still yet to be seen. So let the President hear us, that we will not easily scare. We are medical cannabis patients, and we are not going anywhere.
Imagine a world we could live in. These seeds in the minds of our children. These trees and grow our solution. Hemp can heal the world. Imagine a world we could live in. These seeds in the minds of our children. These trees and grow our solution. Hemp can save the world.
You put a 2-year-old child in a crib with a bunny rabbit and an apple? Let me know when the child eats the bunny rabbit and plays with the apple. a cell phone, you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.